Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Red Deer Museum. I'm Heather, and I do miniMAG here at the museum. And today we're going to be making some superhero cards for just in time for Father's Day. So far I've made, let's see, a turtle, and it says, "You're turtly awesome." Batman, "You're my superhero." And the last one was Spider-Man. And I think I came up with, "You're spiderific." So we're going to be making a few more superhero cards today. I'll just go over how we did the ones that I have done, and then we'll be making a few different ones today. And then I also want to show you before we started what we're going to be making next week using recycling. It's this really big fish. It's a flounder. It's all made out of cardboard and some recycled bottle caps, some stir sticks, some wire, and a little bit of beads and paint. The trick is to get the nice thick cardboard so you have room to stick things in the side. So that's our project for next week. Getting to this week, Father's Day is this weekend. And so, of course, we need to make some cards for our favorite people, our dads. So I thought we would make some superhero cards. So all you need is some cardstock or heavyweight paper. And if you don't have all the colors, you can paint. So the ones that I have here, some of them I painted, and the ones I'm making today, I'm using cardstock because we have a lot of different colors here at the museum. So you're going to be tracing your hand, and doing the base of the body here is green, and then this is just with cardstock. This one I painted the whole thing and then used cardstock for the black, and this is just cardstock, red cardstock. You ready to get going? Excellent. So the ones I think I'm going to try making today, I have 4. We'll see how many I'm going to be able to make. Baby Yoda, Hulk, Captain America, and Wonder Woman. So I thought those are the ones I would give a try. And also my hands are too big to trace on the paper. So I have a little handprint that I cut out. Otherwise, my hand is too large to fit on the paper when you fold it. So I think we should start with Baby Yoda. So Baby Yoda is green and brown. So I have green and brown cardstock. And the fingers will be which are his legs, will be brown. So that's what I'm going to make the card out of, is brown. Step 1, you have your cardstock. You need to fold it in half to make a card. Now, depending how small your hand is, will depend on which way you need to fold it. If my hand was super teeny, I could fold it this way and I could have more cards out of one. I'm going to fold it this way so I have the biggest area to work with. So give it a nice crisp fold. Now you're going to put your hand on so that the heel of your hand is right on the fold of the paper. See how it's opening like that? So here's my hand print. So I was telling you my hand's too big to fit on that paper. But you guys all have much smaller hands than I do. So pretend this is your hand, and you're putting the heel of your hand right on the fold. And then you're just going to trace around the outside. Now, I'm going to use a marker so that you can see it better. You can just use a pencil though, or whatever you have. So you're going to trace around the outside of your hand. Try to make your fingers nice and fat so they're easier to cut out. there. I just have my thumb left. How is everybody doing? Did you get hail at your house last night? And all during the day? I did at my house. I have no tomatoes left. A bunch of my flowers are pulverized. And I had big piles of snow, hail, sitting all over my yard. All right, so we have it all cut out. We have it all traced out. And now, let me put it up so you can see it better. There. And now we're going to cut out that shape. And you're going to be cutting both layers when you're cutting, because remember, you want a card that opens and closes. So let's cut out Yoda's legs. Remember, if you have your scissors, your thumb always is pointing up. Your thumb wants to see the sun. Now, if you didn't have brown paper, you can do it just out of white cardstock, and then you can paint it. Or you could color it with marker if you didn't want to paint. My fingers on this are very wide, and that's fine. It gives you more room to print, to write your messages, and it's easier to cut. There we go. So now I have a card that opens and closes. Perfect. I'm going to put the brown away. I may need it again. I'm not sure if I need any brown colors for my other superheroes. Okay, so this is his body. So now we need to do his face. Now to do the face, you don't have to fold your paper in half because you're just decorating the front half of your card. So I'm going to put my green paper here, and I'm going to put my card on top. This is because I need to make his face out of the green, and this way I can know where the edges and things are. So I have my pencil. So Baby Yoda has big floppy ears, kind of like elf ears. Oh, let me do a Sharpie so you can see. So I'll make his head like that. Big ears. I'll have his ears come out like this and come up like that. Looks good. I could make his head a little bit rounder, like that. So now when I remove this, it's gonna look a little wonky. I just want to make, this is where his coat's going to be. So I'm just going to put a line across like that. And don't worry if the line is showing up, because we can always flip it over to the other side. So now we're going to cut this out. Did you guys watch Baby Yoda on TV? On The Mandalorian? So good. Now my friend Parker, who usually does all the art with me, he couldn't make it today, so he's going to be doing his after. His favorite is usually Spider-Man, so it'll be interesting to see if he makes Spider-Man. Okay, so there's his head. So I'm going to flip it over so you can't see the black marks. I'm just going to go right on like that. I'm going to get your glue stick out. I've got a nice purple one. So put some glue right here on the top of my hand where the fold is. And I want to cover up all the brown. So put it high enough so that's covered. There. Give a good press. Now Baby Yoda has really big black eyes, and we could use googly eyes, and I have some here. I'm going to pull them out and we'll see what we think. Oh, that might be the winner. It's hard to go wrong with googly eyes. Let's see, do I have bigger ones? If you've ever been at the museum, you know we have a big container filled with all different sizes of googly eyes. I have some really big ones. What do you think? Should we go super big? That looks kind of funny, doesn't it? We need to have a vote. Big eyes, little eyes. What do you think? We still have to put his little nose on. Put them like that. Put them like that. I think we'll go with the smaller ones. Too bad we didn't have just another size up bigger than that one. So there is kind of a trick to googly eyes. They take a lot of glue to stick. So I like to take a scoop of glue on the back, and that seems to work. Teeny scoop. There we go, there's his little face. All right, now I'm going to use a marker to draw on a mouth. So let's give him a little baby mouth and a nose. And then he kind of has some forehead wrinkles like that. Just a few. And there's our Baby Yoda. Which way do I need to go there? And to write inside, we could write Yoda best. What do you think? Is that a good one? Yoda best. And there's Yoda. I might use this fatter marker to make his little features stand out more. And if you wanted to draw this is his coat that he wears. Just put some lines kind of showing the cowl neck. There. For his ears. Yeah, now we're done. We've got four superheroes. Next one we should try is, I was thinking the Hulk. Kids love the Hulk. So the Hulk, he appears to have purple pants and green body. So I'm going to make my card out of purple. So I've got green and purple here. So I've got my purple pants. So same thing, fold it in half. Give Give it a nice firm rub along the edge so that your crease stays nice and firm, nice and sharp. Put your hand down, trace around your hand. We'll have to be sure to make a Wonder Woman too. Maybe we'll do that after Hulk. Right? There's our hand. Just have to cut that out. And we have to think about Hulk's head. Hulk has a really big head. It's kind of squarey shape. Like a big block. And we have to make his head a little bit larger than the top of our hand. He looks really ferocious. He also has black hair, so we're gonna have a couple colors. We'll use green and we'll use black and glue one on top of the other. And again, if you don't have purple, you can do it out of just regular cardstock and paint it or use markers. There we go. We've got our card. Now we have to think about his head. I have this nice bright green. Okay, Hulk's head. Let me start with a pencil just so I can move things around a bit. I think I just kind of want his head to be maybe like that, kind of like a rectangle. And we'll have room for his eyes and his mouth and his hair. Yeah, I think that will work. Make this a little bit more round there. Okay. I'll trace over that with a marker so you can see. There. I'm not sure if on this bottom end if I should make it jaggedy, like it would show his clothes being kind of ripped and jagged. I might do that. It'd be like he's wearing a t-shirt. It's all ripped and jaggy. There. So once again, get your glue stick out. It's on the top of your card. And figure out your placement. Like that, I think. A little bit over. There. Push down. So Hulk has the black hair and bushy eyebrows. I'm just going to cut a strip of black to work with. Maybe I'll start with his eyebrows. I'm going to cut two rectangles the same size. Like that. Those are pretty big. And now I'm going to just cut little triangle shapes to make him look all jaggy and hairy. All the way around. for his big bushy eyebrows. It's kind of like cutting teeth if you've ever made a shark or something like that before. And they don't have to match. I should have done them both at the same time. That would have been easier. Oh well, live and learn. I had more excitement happening at my house today. My cat brought a bird in the house. It was still very much alive and kicking and flying around. And it was a little bit scary. Ended up having to catch it with a tea towel and let it out. Okay, one jaggy eyebrow. He's kind of starting to look like a monster. Maybe if we get his teeth right, he'll look more hulky. Starting to look is it Frankenstein? Can't remember which monster has all those. The big head like that. Lurch, Frankenstein, one of those. And you would look the same if you wanted to make a monster instead of a superhero. You could make Despicable Me. You could give him a real long pointy nose. That would be fun. And we could make some minions. Minions with their little blue overalls. They could just have one big eye in the middle. You could make that out of yellow or blue. That would be cute. All right, we've got our two eyebrows. With the leftover little bit of this black, I'm going to do the same thing to make hair. Crazy bushy hair. I was trying to think what other superheroes there are. They could make Thor or Loki. Could make all the turtles. The turtles are quite easy because it's just green and then you just have the different banners that go across their eyes, the blindfold. And they can look super cute if you have glitter, like glitter foam. You can make their their bandanas out of the glitter and looks really nice and shiny. Because who doesn't love a little bit of glitter in their life? A little bit of sparkle. Cutting all these little triangles out takes a bit of time, doesn't it? You can collect all the little triangles and you can make a monster with lots of black teeth. Vampire or something. Vampires have black teeth? Usually they're white. What has black teeth? I don't think I know anything that has black teeth. Just from not brushing them. There. All right, so then if that's my hair, I've got my eyebrows. I'm going to make his mouth out of some white. So I've just cut a rectangle just so I could measure. So that's too big. So I'm going to make that smaller. Maybe a little bit thinner. There, that's pretty good. round the corners a little bit so it's not quite so rectangularly. Okay, I'm going to draw on it before I glue it, I think. Just going to give him some teeth. I'm going to put a line straight down the middle. Teeth like that. And the last thing we'll need are some eyeballs. Let's find the googles. That size. We have the big ones. Oh, the big ones might be good. What do you think? The big ones make him look like he's a little bit wild. It's time to get the gluing going. So I think I'll start with his hair. So I have an old magazine here. I'm going to use it as a messy mat so I don't get glue all over the table. Let's put a line of glue up there. Put his hair on. The great thing about using a magazine is if I have glue here, I can just open the page and go to the next page. I don't have to worry about getting glue on everything else. Now, which one am I going to put next? I think I'll put his mouth on so then I'll know where to put his eyes. There's his mouth. Then I can have his eyebrows looking mad. If you have them pointing down, they look mad. Straight, or they can even go like this, or they can be opposite. They have one going up, one going down. Gives them different facial expressions. Remember, googly eyes take lots of glue. I'm going to put it down fairly low because I want room for those big eyebrows. I'm going to put it close to his mouth. Even though this glue is purple, it dries clear. So you don't have to worry about the purple showing. You can just smudge it off. Your fingers are small. There. Now we just have his eyebrows. Did we decide what we're going to do? Do we want him to look angry? Yes, I think Hulk needs to look angry. One there. Because if he wasn't angry, he wouldn't be the Hulk, right? Turns back into mild manner. There. Now I may just trace over my line a little bit to make it bolder. Look at those teeth. And there's our Hulk. I don't know what could be right in the middle. Your Hulkerific, something like that. And then I think we have time for one more. And let's try doing Wonder Woman. We should have at least one girl in the mix. So trying to figure out how to do Wonder Woman. And I thought I would just make her body out of white. And then I would give her black hair and a little crown of yellow with a little red star. So once again, fold it in half. Now I've cut out of this one, so I have to make sure when I put my hand on here, I put it in the right spot. Trace around. Now these would also make excellent cards to give to grandparents, like your grandpa for Father's Day, or if you have a stepdad or two dads. Will work for all of those. And because you have so many different superheroes you can choose from, everybody can get their own special superhero. All right, there we go. It's our last one cutting. So I was trying to think, Wonder Woman has longer hair. We'll have to consider how we're going to do her hair. If we're going to just be on the very top, or if we're going to have it hanging down. I was thinking it could hang down over her fingers. Her thumb and her little finger. We'll have to see when we put it down on the paper how that's going to work. See if we can figure that out. Remember, making art is all about using your imagination and figuring problems out. Everything has a solution. So there's our hand. And I've got the black here. Now how could we could cover up the whole, let's see, I want to put it over here so you can see. We could give her long hair, or at least cover up the thumb and a finger. Could do that. That would give her nice long hair. Let's try. Now it's not going to work for me to trace on it with a black marker, but I have this orange pen, so let's see if this shows up. I'm going to trace around the thumb because I want their hair to go down to there. And on this side, I'm going to put it down just to the edge of my paper. And then I'm just going to round the top. I think it's the top of her head. Now when I cut this out, let's see, I need to know how wide my little finger is there. I'm just going to kind of emulate what is on this side over on this side. So I'll just make a curve like that. And I want it to go up to about here. So I'm going to bring it up like this. And we need her face to go in the middle, so it will go up in an arch. Now it's a little bit hard to see, but it's going to look like that. Kind of like a wishbone. As long as we have the outside tracing of her hand, it should work. And we can always make it thinner if we need it on the inside. Let's trace around. Okay. Now on this one, we might not be able to flip it over because if we do, we'll have to flip our whole hand. So let's have a look and see how that works out. All these math problems. Okay. So here's our hand. And here's our hair. Did you see what I did there? Because I traced on this, and I don't want this pen mark to show, I want to flip it over. But because our hands aren't the same on both, I'm going to have to flip my hand over on the card. And then it will work. What do you think? Does that look Wonder Woman-y? I think that looks like her hair. And then if we put her gold tiara on, I think that's going to work out. Okay, so gold tiara is next. Maybe we'll glue down her hair first. So let's put on some glue. There. So there's her hair. Now we need her little gold tiara. We're going to do the same thing. I've got some yellow here. If you had gold, that would work out really well. So we want it to go across her head, probably about right up here. I'm going to move this down. I want it to be about this wide. And we can trim the edges afterwards. This wide here. So those is just giving my dimensions. Now I'm going to just make the shape of a tiara. I'm not going to cut the ends off yet because I might have to flip this over so it doesn't show the pen marks. So if I give myself a little bit of extra, I know I won't make it too short. So I'm going to flip it over because I've got pen marks. That's not going to work. Look, I've got a sticker here. Let's see if I can pull it off. Perfect. So we want it to go she wears her tiara fairly low on her head. So I'm going to put it down about there. Like I said before, I can always trim the edge after. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to center that. There. So see how it's going over the edges there? I'm just going to flip it over and just give it a little trim. There. Okay, the last thing I think we need for her is a little red star. Now, do you know how to draw a star? If you just have, sometimes you have sticky foam shapes that have stars, that would be super easy. We're going to make our own. So I'm just going to make a 5-point star with a marker. Oh, that one's too fat. How big do I want it? About like that. I'm not going to cut all the lines. Remember, I'm just going to cut the outside. The thing about stars, they're all straight lines. Cut that one far enough. There. Now, I saw the Wonder Woman movie, and I don't remember if she had a star in the middle of hers or not this time. I think maybe her costume changes depending on the movie. So there's a little bit of a wonky star. I'd have to trim this one. I was looking a little long. There. So some of my little arms are a little bit long, so I'm just going to trim them so that it fits on her tiara. And we'll give it a little dash of glue. glue on that. Right in the middle. There. So what are we missing? Some eyes. Good old googly eyes. Can't go wrong. There, that looks good. Almost done. We're doing pretty good. We made 3 cards. We got a little bit too much glue on this one. One there. One there. She's looking a little purple around the eyes there. And then we just need a mouth. Should we give her a happy mouth? Is she happy today? I think she is. There we go. Wonder Woman. If you wanted, you could make the bottom red. You could add more. But she looks pretty amazing as she is. So let's have a look at all of our cards here. Just clean up my area. We've got Wonder Woman, Spider-Man. We could have the whole Justice League. The Hulk. Batman. Baby Yoda. And our very last one of the turtles. And I think Parker told me that's Donatello. He's wearing purple. Kind of looks blue on the screen. But there we go. From all that, you should be able to find at least one superhero that you can make into a card for your dad for his special day on Father's Day. So I hope you had lots of fun. Hope we see you next week when we're making our wild flounder. And we do have a few of the art kit bags here at the museum. We have all the supplies and lesson plans for the miniMAG lessons for the month of June. We just have them here at the museum, and if you want more information, I see that they've left the address there on the banner, or you can go to the Red Deer Museum website. So I hope you had a good time. We'll see you later, everyone.